guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to work on a new fresh cut flower arrangement for this area right behind me. This is our landing, and do you remember when I put that grass and hydrangea arrangement together? I think it's been over a year ago now, and it's been such a wonderful low maintenance thing to have up here, but I am ready for something fresh. So I just got back from the grocery store. They had a pretty good selection of red and white flowers, and I've got some evergreen boughs left over from other projects, so I thought it'd be fun to put together something kind of bigger to go in this spot, and I thought you guys might like to see. So I'm standing down in the kitchen right now, and this is the staircase that leads us up into the old side of the house. And we call this the landing because this is kind of where all of the rooms lead to. They all connect to this space right here. And it's just kind of an area we walk through a lot. And I'm surprised the grass has survived the cats, honestly, because this is probably the most alluring thing in our house to them. But for the most part, I mean, it has held really, really well. I might go ahead and use the same container, but I do have a blue and white vase that may work really well. I'm just gonna have to kind of size it up. And I will save these limelight hydrangea blooms because they are really nice. I can use those in something else. And then as far as the rest of this area goes, you can see the silver and white tree there on the left, and then in the back parlor, the nutcracker trees there in front of the window. This hutch was left here by the previous owners just because I didn't want to move it because it's so big and heavy, which I'm thankful for it because I've got a bunch of pretty things that I wanted to display, but I didn't have a hutch when we moved in. So I've been really, really happy to have it. And then we do get quite a number of questions about these pictures, which, for crying out loud, I don't have them all positioned properly. But this is a collection of antique equestrian prints, and I waited a very long time for the seller to come down in cost on these. Like, it was like 2 or 3 years. And I just kept offering, and finally I told him, you've had these in this shop for over 3 years, come on, man. And he finally gave me a really good deal on them. So anyway, I really enjoyed those. I need to do some work on getting them leveled up. Oh my goodness, that's gonna trigger some of you, I think. I think the reason why they're like that is I had to tape some of them behind because the frames aren't quite like sound. Not all of the frames are good. Anyway, I love them. So now I just need to get this arrangement out of the house in one piece, hopefully without making a huge mess everywhere. And then we can start in. I do have to go gather a couple of greens out of the barn, and then let me show you the flowers I picked up. So when I got them home, I recut all the ends and put them down in just a sink full of water because I wasn't sure exactly when I was gonna get to making the arrangement. I got some pomegranates as well. I thought maybe I could wire some of those in to the arrangement. Possibly. They're kind of heavy though. I do have some dried ones, but they're not quite as brilliant in color. So we'll see how that goes. But they had really pretty bunches of red roses. Of course, there's white mums, hypericum berries right there. Some alstroemeria right there. These last forever. Let's see, some calla lilies. I did pick up some roses in kind of this reddish orange too, because I thought that that would be a nice contrast and bring a little bit more interest to the arrangement rather than just using red and white. And then of course I've got some pine boughs and incense cedar, and there may be a few things out in the garden here that I can utilize as well that still look nice. I saw some Bergarten sage that has that really nice icy blue color that might be nice. But here are the greens. So let's see what we got. Pull it down onto the ground. Oh yeah. Oh, these will be nice. And good size too. I need them to be fairly big because I want to still create a fairly large arrangement for that table. And then here's the incense cedar. That's a nice branch right there. Look at this branch. Oh, so pretty. So I really just need to get that old arrangement out and then just bring everything out here. I've got to decide what vase I want to use, get my flowers out here, get all the rest of my supplies together, and then just start building on it. It's 46 degrees out here today, and that's why I'm gonna do it out here, because when I make an arrangement, it makes a huge mess. And so if I can make that mess out here, even better. All right, so I'm gonna start in, and I'll give you a little mini tour of everything that I've got out here before I actually start building the arrangement. Easy. Okay, so I've got everything I think I'm going to be using this afternoon. All the flowers are here on the table. Russell's trying to decide if he should get up there or not. I don't think there's any room for you up there, buddy. I did decide to go with the same vase that the grass was in for a couple of different reasons. One, because I want it to be a fairly large arrangement, I needed the opening to be big because I'm going to be utilizing some bigger branches. I mean, there's some pretty good size pieces in these boxes of evergreen here. The second reason is because the blue and white vase is beautiful and I think it was the right height, but I feel like it would have taken on a more patriotic vibe with the red and white flowers and a blue and white vase. It would have looked maybe a little bit more appropriate for 4th of July. The other thing with this vase is I'm actually not sure if it's watertight completely because I don't think I've ever tried a big arrangement in here. I'm not sure. So what I do in that case is I do line it with a garbage sack to prevent water from coming out, and then in that case I do use floral foam, which I try to stay away from it as much as possible, and I use either a twig frog or like a chicken wire frog, but those can both rip the plastic liner, so I've got to use something softer. So I'll use that, and that'll help me keep everything in place a lot easier anyway. And then I've got my Felcos here, scissors to cut the bag liner, and then some wire, which I will use with some probably pine branches to wire these in if it works. Okay, so now I'm gonna just start building. I might have to go out into the garden and get a few things. I'm just not sure how it's gonna like come together. I never really do. Here we go. Well, I definitely didn't go with a less is more approach with this arrangement. You never know what direction they're going to take, and this was really kind of not what I was thinking. I was thinking something a little bit more open and free looking, but it just kind of evolved, and I just kept sticking stuff in there, and I think it's pretty and festive looking. I used a lot of stuff, so the pomegranates are fun. They are rather heavy, like I said, so what I did with this one that's facing upward is I just stuck it with, I don't even know if we can see it. Probably not. But I just used one of the pine branches and I stuck it through the bottom, just maybe a couple inches into the pomegranate, and then used it as like a pick. And then this one right here that's hanging more down, I pushed a piece of wire through the bottom of the pomegranate and then lashed it to a branch, and then the branch then goes into the foam, and then it just kind of hangs there. And they're looking pretty good, I think. And then I did have a couple extra that I'll be able to put around the base once I get it inside. The other one is on the table over here. In fact, this is all I was left with, so I've got quite a bit actually. I can make a couple more smaller bouquets to put around the house. I ended up going and cutting some Scarlet Curls willow branches. You can see those kind of adding some extra movement here, and it needed it because those evergreen branches are so thick. that it just needed some wispiness. So that's kind of the point of origin for most of the branches, and then I kind of just tucked them in around the bottom. And some of them come out the side here, out the front, just adding a little bit of extra texture. And I do love the fact that they had some red berries and some of those peachy colored ones, as well as the variation in rose color. I think having the two different colors in there really makes them each kind of stand out. And then of course the mums, these are spectacular, these big ones with the green center. Oh, they're pretty. And then I did get some that were all white. So this arrangement right here, there are some things like the mums, the hypericum berries, the alströmerias in there that will last quite a long time. The roses will last for the rest of this Christmas week, which is perfect. And then the callas, I'm not sure. We'll see how those do, but yeah, I'm just expecting to get a good week to 10 days out of this arrangement, and I'll probably have to just pull little flowers here and there as they start to fade. And then as far as floral preservative goes, I just use the little packets that come with the flowers. And for this one, how many did I use? I think I used 4 of those small packets, and I dissolved those in the water before I introduced the foam and let the foam kind of soak it up. And then I put the foam in the vessel, and then I filled it all the way up, the rest of the way with water. So I won't take anything out of this arrangement in terms of like to switch water out. I'll just make sure to top it up every day. And I did this arrangement with kind of a front because we really just see it from one side mostly, but there is an opportunity to walk around the whole table if you should want to. So I did add some stuff to the back, but I didn't spend near as much time like designing it. So you can see the back has a little bit of color, a little bit of, you know, branches and things like that. It still looks pretty, but it's not nearly as full or anything as the front. In fact, I often don't find myself with the need to create an arrangement that you need to see from all sides, which is kind of nice. I mean, unless I do something for our little dining room table, which, you know, they're not like big arrangements for that because we still want to be able to see over them when we're sitting there eating so we can have a conversation. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to do this fun project out here and take advantage of a kind of warmer day here in December. I will show you what it looks like inside. I just wanted to make sure to show you the detail while it was still out here because the lighting is just so much better. When we get it in there, everything kind of turns orange and dark, so it's a little bit harder to see. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope you're having a really wonderful week, and we will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so it's a tiny bit hard to see because the sunshine is just pouring in through those windows in the back there. But I think the scale turned out right. It's a little bit smaller than the grass arrangement. Although there are branches, they're just so wispy you can't really make them out. There we go. You can see them kind of sticking up there. But it's just nice to have something different in this spot with a little bit of color. Something nice and fresh. Really loving it.